Personally, I think a lot of people are going to be very upset with themselves for saying goodbye to Bitcoin and crypto overall. As we know, in market sentiments like we're in right now, fear, people tend to panic. Previously, we were in extreme fear, but right now, we're sitting in fear. Every time in Bitcoin's history that we've been in fear and people have sold off their crypto, they have regretted it. In fact, if we look at the chart, this might come as a little bit of a surprise. In the history of Bitcoin, the only time anyone has ever regretted buying was over the last 129 days. Isn't that incredible? Bitcoin has been around for over 10 years, and there have only been 129 days in its history where anyone who simply bought and held regretted it. That's real, guys. You can check the charts for yourself. This is what I want people to understand. We are in a very volatile time in crypto. It's a scary time because this is when fear-mongering comes out. The macroeconomic situation is terrible. People say Bitcoin is going back down to the bear market lows, that it's going to be $30,000 tomorrow, and that if you buy now, your money's going to zero. But the crazy thing is, apart from those 129 days, anyone who has just bought and held has been very happy. Right now, we also see Bitcoin entering the oversold zone. Historically, these are the best times to accumulate. As you can tell from my tone, even though the price of Bitcoin is $84,000, I am still bullish. I am overall bullish on Bitcoin and the crypto market, not on every single altcoin, but overall bullish. However, at this moment, I am sitting neutral. We have yet to break what I consider the bull market support, and we have yet to break the resistance needed for the last move to the upside in this cycle. We've been talking about being in the last leg of the cycle for months now, maybe 4 or 6 months, and I believe we still are. I think we are in a period very similar to previous cycles in Bitcoin's history, somewhere between this point, that point, and another key moment from the past. However, because I'm not a financial advisor, and you should pause the video and read the disclaimer, there is always the possibility that we are actually at a lower point and the bear market is coming. Now, with that said, let's zoom into Bitcoin today. It's at $84,100, coming up from lows of $76,100. If you're in the private Discord, you'd know that I actually bought at $78,000. Here's the proof. Last time I bought Bitcoin at $78,000, Solana at $120, and Sui at $120, $220. I also added NASDAQ 100, S&P 500, and more Bitcoin at $80,000. Over the last week, I haven't done much, just sat on my hands. We have the trading account, from which I've taken heavy profits as we moved up, which I showed live here on the channel. There's still a bit of profit sitting there. If we look at Twitter, we can see that there are $220 billion worth of stablecoins waiting on the sidelines. I want to remind you of what happened when we first got news of the strategic reserve. Crypto and Bitcoin shot up 21%, altcoins even more. Cardano jumped like 100%, and it all happened in about 2 days, actually within a few hours after the announcement. This shows how much money is sitting on the sidelines, waiting for a reason to buy. I believe the next reason to buy will be the S&P 500 stabilizing, inflation coming down, interest rates dropping, and quantitative tightening ending. These factors make me believe the macro situation isn't as bad as people want you to think. Of course, I could be completely wrong. I'm not an economist, just a guy in a room looking at charts, but I'm seeing very similar market conditions to previous times when fear was at its peak. Remember when China banned Bitcoin mining? Everyone thought it was over. But then, we went on another bull run. Things seem bleak, but unless we break $73,000, close multiple daily candles below it, and then drop below $50,000 with multiple closes, we're still in a familiar pattern. This is similar to the 55% drop that happened during a previous consolidation phase. We could be repeating that. I base my ideas purely on Bitcoin's history. That's all I've ever done, and that's all I'll continue to do. Right now, we also have the SEC considering whether crypto startups should be able to use NFTs to raise capital. This got me thinking, could we have a 2025 to 2026 market cycle similar to 2017 or 2021? Could we see an alt season like before, but with actual regulatory clarity? Could XRP finally thrive without the SEC holding it back? All these things make me believe that right now is an opportunity. I just don't see a world where it's all over. Of course, if the macro situation gets significantly worse, if the S&P 500 drops 30%, we enter a recession, and things spiral downward, then yes, the bull market could be over, and we could enter a true bear market. Now we also see BlackRock starting to accumulate again after a month-long downtrend. As we've always said, it's not literally BlackRock accumulating, it's people buying Bitcoin through their brokerages and ETFs. That's bullish. But what do we always see? Retail behavior. Loads of buying on the way up, then panic selling on the way down. Institutions just hold. If someone puts Bitcoin in their retirement fund, they're not checking charts daily and dumping it. They're just holding. The crazy thing is, after the ETF announcement, Bitcoin hit $49,000, then dropped to $38,000. Then it went up again, consolidated, and went up again. This cycle repeats over and over. Even if we enter a bear market, the worst period of it only lasted 276 days last time. Then it was up only until now. I started my crypto journey making $3,000 a month. No kids, no mortgage, no wife. I had about $1,000 a month in disposable income. I used that to buy Bitcoin, turned it into $75,000 in a bull run, then lost it all. So maybe your experience today is like mine was back then. Maybe you're making mistakes, learning how to navigate the market. If you stick with it and stay unemotional, you'll get better at trading. That's what this channel is here for. Not to brag, just to share my experience. When you see pullbacks, they become opportunities, but only if you believe in what you're holding. I believe in Bitcoin. I believe in some altcoins, but not as much as Bitcoin, so my positions reflect that. I'll continue dollar cost averaging. If you want to follow your own trading method, I have links in the description to exchanges I use. One of them is BitUnks, offering $5,500 in bonuses. Also, if you want to see when I'm trading or talk with other traders, our community has 4 full-time coaches and daily technical analysis. Links are in the description. Let me know in the comments, are you bullish or bearish? Do you think I'm nuts? See you in the next one. Peace.